So they lied. They lied again. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's incredible how egregious their fibs, their public betrayals, and their decisions to throw their so-called friends under the bus all the time really are. Harry and Meghan claimed that the Kardashians, and specifically Kris Jenner, had done something wrong because they had apparently ticked a consent form saying that they didn't want their pictures to be put out into the public domain. Problem is, there was no consent form. It was an invention, a briefing to Tom Sykes of The Royalist to try and make these two look as if they were in some way taking the moral high ground over the Kardashians. And not surprisingly, of course, Kim and Kris and all of them are just totally furious because it's about the fact that they are overshadowing Kris's 70th birthday celebrations. No one wants the toxic twosome taking over every single major event in their lives. This reporting from Page 6 overnight. The Kardashians not happy about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle overshadowing Kris Jenner's party. An insider exclusively telling Page 6 that the famous brood is getting annoyed with the Sussex camp for overshadowing what was intended to be a celebration of Kris. The source, of course, referring to the drama involving since-deleted photos that were taken of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex from inside the bash. We're told a rep for the couple allegedly asked Jenner and Kim Kardashian to remove the pics they shared of the royals in Instagram photo dumps recapping the party. Additionally, a recent report suggested that Harry and Meghan marked no on an alleged consent form that was handed out at the Mommages soiree. But another source close to the situation adamantly tells Page 6 that's simply not true, as a consent form never existed. But the mystery is deepening, okay? And this is really interesting. And I want to bring, according to Taz Royal YouTube Sensation, in on this. Because, Tash, I have been looking very closely at the briefing and the counter-briefing. And there is a fascinating line buried within Alison Boshoff's report in the Mail today regarding the bizarre deletion of the pictures of the Sussexes. Team Jenner insists that there was an ask to post photos by one party and then an ask to take them down from another. Now, I want to translate that because, of course, Alison Boshoff is trying to protect her sources here, but what's very clear is that the first ask was from Meghan Markle. That's what I was told. Get these photos up. You know, why am I not in it? The second ask is Prince Harry. Take them the hell down. Now, Tam on X really made me laugh because they wrote, okay, just reading Alison Boshoff, came across this. Now, could it be that the first party was the ILBW and the second party was H? Now, Tash, I don't know about you because, you know, I'm a little bit older, okay? And I was like, ILBW? ILBW? What does that mean? I don't know. So I put it into Grok and I was like asking. And Tash, it stands for Instagram loving bitch wife, a mocking term popularized in online anti-Meghan communities. I hadn't come across it before, but I mean, accurate as far as I'm concerned. But this is fascinating, isn't it? Because it very much matches up with my reporting across the week, which was to begin with, Meghan was very annoyed. Then there was this takedown request. The Kardashians were like, what the hell? You asked for these pictures to go up. Then Meghan and Harry said, well, we ticked the consent form. There was no consent form. It's one big fat lie. What do you make of it all, Tash, this Photogate disaster?
So at this point, the situation becomes crystal clear. Harry and Meghan wanted those pictures posted, and then they wanted them taken down. And honestly, the whole thing feels like classic Sussex chaos, the kind of chaos that follows them everywhere. Think about it. The Kardashians are used to drama, they literally built an empire on it, but even they weren't expecting this kind of mess. Because this wasn't harmless gossip. This was ego, insecurity, image control, and panic all hitting at the same time. And here's the part people keep ignoring. If Meghan really didn't want the pictures online, why was she posing so confidently? Why was she smiling like she just walked into the most important room of her life? Why was she leaning in, arm around Kris, making sure she was in the shot? Because she did want to be seen. She just didn't like the way the pictures turned out. Look closely. Harry looks uncomfortable. Meghan looks tense behind the smile. And the Kardashians? They look like they're hosting a party, not babysitting a royal PR crisis. They posted the photos because it was a fun moment. It was harmless. No agenda. No drama. But then, suddenly, the photos are deleted. And a mysterious consent form appears out of nowhere. A form the Kardashians said never existed. So what does that tell you? It tells you someone panicked. Someone changed their mind. And someone needed a quick excuse to cover it up. But here's the bigger problem: when you lie about something this small, people start wondering what else you might be lying about. And that's exactly what's happening now.
Well, and so who shows up and then scolds the host, the birthday girl, for having the photo with them? It's like, then don't pose for it, you idiot. Just say, I'd rather not.
How about don't go?
Right.
How about don't even go? You know, the thing that struck me too about those images of Meghan entering, Harry had her by the hand, but she was several steps behind and she was beaming. Like this was like her fullest self-actualization. She's at a Hollywood party hosted by Kris Jenner. Now, if she had an iota of common sense, she would have realized that had she just stayed as a royal, it would have been the likes of Kris Jenner, desperate to be in a room with her.
Yes.
Desperate to be in a room with Meghan Markle, and how the tables have turned. And she's not as clever as she thinks.
Yeah.
She doesn't get that this is not good for her brand.
Yeah.
All true.
Let's be honest, Meghan is obsessed with being seen, with being photographed, with being talked about. She knows Hollywood is slipping away from her. She knows invitations are getting fewer. She knows her name doesn't hit the same anymore. This party was her moment. Her chance to prove she's still relevant. Her chance to show she still belongs in rooms full of A-listers. But instead of it being a comeback, it turned into a circus. And Harry? He looks like he didn't even know a circus was happening. He looks like a man being dragged around by the hand, trying to smile, trying to play along, but completely checked out. His eyes tell the real story: he wants to be anywhere else. And the Kardashians noticed. Everyone noticed. Because when you enter any Kardashian event, you know the rule. You will be photographed. You will be posted. You will become content. That's the deal. That's the unspoken agreement. That's how their world works. Harry and Meghan knew it too. They walked down the paparazzi line like they were auditioning for a Netflix reboot. They wanted the attention. Until the attention didn't flatter them. Then, suddenly, it's privacy. Suddenly, it's consent forms. Suddenly, it's take the photos down. And this is the moment Hollywood pays attention, not to the glamour, not to the titles, but to the behavior. Because nobody, and I mean nobody in that industry, wants guests who bring drama to a birthday party. Especially not to the 70th birthday of Kris Jenner, the woman who built the entire celebrity playbook. And think about this. Other celebrities at the party managed to show up, celebrate, have fun, and leave without making it all about them. Even Beyoncé slipped in quietly. Even Oprah didn't create a scandal. Even Jeff Bezos, one of the richest people on the planet, didn't make a scene. But Harry and Meghan? One night. One event. One set of pictures. And suddenly the entire week is about them. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Hollywood is getting tired. And not just tired, annoyed. Because this isn't royal duty. This isn't public service. This isn't humanitarian work. This is reputation management. This is insecurity disguised as victimhood. This is attention chased the wrong way. Harry and Meghan didn't protect their privacy. They protected their image. And honestly, they did it badly. The Kardashians showed them exactly how powerful image control really works. Own it. Post it. Move on. Instead, Harry and Meghan grabbed a tiny moment and turned it into a PR wildfire. A wildfire that they started. A wildfire they fueled. A wildfire they blamed everyone else for. And now, the question isn't why did the photos get deleted? The real question, the one Hollywood is whispering, is this. If this is the drama they create over one picture, what happens when something truly important goes wrong? And that is why this moment matters. Not because of a party. Not because of a photograph. But because it shows exactly how fragile, how reactive, and how desperate the Sussex image machine really is. And trust me, in Hollywood, people don't forget this kind of thing.